that inner honey is the source of all our suffering. You see the situation outside, so situation does not bite you. Situation does not chase you. We lose that awareness, and the inner honey says, I had been in a worse situation. I would say we have a funny presentation uh, of majority of Americans. What is that funny presentation? 20 years ago, I was in extreme stress. I was on the verge of a death. And then I met this beard guy and he taught me. And then I did not have a money. Now I have lot of money. Are you ready to learn from me? You see, that story starts from the problem as if you are in an extreme problem. Now, I'm not criticizing, I'm just presenting. I don't have that way. No. You see that? I was in such a serious problem, and then I relieved myself. I fought it back. I will guide you how to fight it back. You might have heard those stories. But those who are really genius, they don't talk about it. Bill Gates, they don't talk about it. See, we have to use our mind. We should not get carried away by the people. Oh, you had been in a stress 10 years ago. Oh, and then you got rid of that stress. So here is a secret that I have it. Now compare these stories with a fact. Does the situation bite you? Any situation causes you the problem. If my inner honey does not give a wrong interpretation of that situation which is present outside. Are you getting it? I should have a very good story. My mom died when I was in 10th grade. So add some spices, create a story. Because my mother died, that's why I'm here. Are you getting it? Eastern wisdom says that knowledge, we have to get to the facts. If the situation outside, if the person outside, if an event outside is responsible for my stress and suffering, okay. So when you agree to that, you are adding up more problems.
Mhm.
So if the situation, person, or event is responsible, it means they all are chasing you. Whether you agree, say yes. If you don't agree, raise the question. I told you it is the mind that gives the interpretation of the outer person. A person is good and bad for me. Event is good and bad for me. Any situation, any situation, any event, any person, any relationship. If the mind does not give the interpretation, I don't see the stress and suffering in my life. Can you believe I saw he is? I was just watching last week. He is 19 years old, and there is a Sri Lanka and there is an Indian Ocean in between. He swam from Sri Lanka to Indian Ocean. This guy is suffering from autism. We have hundreds of stories like this. So only one thing we should understand, that if my mind inside with the inner honey projects the situation, and that projection identifies with my stress and suffering, then I'm bound to suffer. I will always remember. Even after 10 years, you insulted me, I still remember. Oh, you're a great guy. You have a great memory. Not only you are a great guy, you have a great memory. This is what our masters teaches us. Think why your mind is chasing these challenges and the problems, that after projecting, and this projection is caused by the ego, and the ego identity, that is what the inner honey is, and that identifies with. Once you drop the identification, your mind will laugh at you. Are you really worthy of suffering? No, you're not worthy of suffering. You have no reason to suffer. And perhaps Anne might have, yeah, Anne has already seen a small house. We all four were living very good, rented house. What mind projects that this is a small house, I cannot live, four people cannot live. Hence the projection, the inner honey. Now, in that two-bedroom apartment, we need 6 by 4 bed. It doesn't mean that we should not work hard. At the same time, we should find the resources. We should continue to work hard. But if I project, I was living in such a dire situation, and now I still see that I sleep, say, in a space which is 6 by 4, and has already seen the house. We should continue to work what is right and good, but at the same time, we should not allow the outer situation, event, people, relationship to dictate on our mind, to create a projection, and that results into stress and suffering. Once that starts, it will never stop. And I gave you a real life example of these coach couple. I'm happy to teach the international coach. I'm an ordinary guy. The coach says that, this man said to me that, she says that I cannot live with you, I cannot tolerate you. Now see that she created a projection about this guy that I cannot live with. So that projection saturated at a point that now I want to leave him. She has already left the first person. This is the second one. Now going to the third. Do I see this series? I don't see it. Then I will continue to suffer. You cannot find a perfect man. All are ladies here, you know. You already have a good experience. There is no perfect man in the world, even in my house. Why to go too far? So I have to work on the mind that does not see a perfect situation outside. Do you see that? The life will be beautiful. I don't want to see anything outside. I don't want to be dictated and influenced by any. That is what, and that is 100% possible by the mind, especially by the human mind, human intellect, I'm saying. I should find out if I had been this coach wife, that wife should have sat down, contemplated, and reflected. And the first question should be asked that, oh my mind, why you are reacting to the person outside you? What causes you to react? What causes you to be anxious? What causes you to blame? The moment you look inward, you discover the inner honey. I want this, I have this expectation is not fulfilled. That's why you are laid off. No, you are laying off this guy, you are being laid off. You have to suffer a lot. Do you see that? You have to suffer a lot. And I got an information from three more people. This guy is has a problem of emotional dependence. So the way he sent me the email, I can find out that he is totally emotionally dependent. What will happen if she leaves me? Then there is another problem. I'm not favoring, but if he is a good guy and he is thinking in this way, he will again suffer. His suffering is little different. Both depend on the outer situation in a positive and a negative. What will happen? I said nothing will happen. What will happen? Nothing will happen. We need that intellect. We need total clarity in the intellect. And when the intellect allows us to change the mind, our behavior and attitude changes. And that changes the brain. So when I say it changes the brain, it means you get rid of all the negativity, reaction, anxiety. And that changes your behavior and attitude. And behavior and attitude changes your personality. What? You are living a personal life, your behavior and attitude now is extremely positive. Same way in professional life and social life. and the life changes. The entire journey, the mind will return again and again. So that is why we teachers talk a lot, because how the mind changes, how the mind plays tricks with it, how it causes the emotional dependence, how it causes the reaction, how it causes the anxiety. We go to the root of everything. That is why we have all these principles to help us. A single word or a thought or a phrase, a blame, complaint, reaction to the outer situation will become so big in your mind. One thought gives the fuel to the other and the third and the fourth. If someone whispers in your ear, this beer guy, you're talking to that guy, he's the craziest guy. Stop. Now you have a doubt. Now you have a doubt. And what is doubt? Do you remember I have been telling you? Doubt in Sanskrit language word is sanshaya and sandeha. And it means when the knowledge sleeps, then only you have a doubt. Now, this guy has been for a couple of years, he has been talking to me. He never talked any silly things to me. But now the doubt is already there. Doubt is there. Do you want to hear what happens with the doubt? How the mind works? Charlie says yes, 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 yes. Mind acquires and strengthens an attitude. What is that attitude it strengthens? It instantly believes what is negative, what is wrong. And it hardly believes what is right and good. Oh, I have a pain. I have done all the investigations done, but still I have a pain. Maybe something serious. Doctors are not able to find. Come on, you already have 10 investigations. It is done. I can give you millions of examples. Now, who is responsible for it? I am. My doubt still lives. We instantly believe what is negative, what is wrong. We hardly believe what is right and good. In every session, for 5 sessions from today, I say, oh, don't talk about Sophie. She is so wonderful. She is beautiful. She is very kind. She is very compassionate. After 5 sessions, you all three will have some doubt that why this guy is praising so much Sophie. Tell me if it is not true. Because we lose awareness. Oh, this guy is praising. Okay. So the mind says, no, this guy is not praising me. I've been so kind to this guy. That's a problem. So where comes the problem? The inner honey causes this problem. So in the 6th session, now I'm ready to speak, and your inner honey says at least he should not speak of Sophie. It's by default. It's a nature. Eastern wisdom says we have to change this mind. One more example, and then we will start. Understand this. Understanding this entire journey of life where we bring a transformation to the mind. So she sent me a text about one young guy. He is in 30s. He's a good friend of mine. All are good friends of mine. Don't you think that he is maniac? I don't want to label anyone as maniac. Why should I? Fact is that this lady itself is a maniac for the last 5 years. I know her. I never told her. So I responded that I'm more maniac than him. I don't want to label. Don't label. This is not my business. Eastern wisdom says we all are real self. So we should see how to bring that real self in front to get rid of all those. But she insisted me that I must give a label to him. No, I have seen, erratic behavior and attitude. We all have sometimes. We all have. You see, that is the intellect working. So when your intellect is working over the mind, then your mind does not dare to label. No, he is very erratic and he is in. He said, I don't know. I know only one thing. I'm also maniac. And then she stopped texting. You might be feeling bad, so let her feel bad. Think of this. When we are constantly aware of it, simple one liner, we remove projection by understanding who am I? By understanding, simply by understanding in the mind that who am I? Stay there. And the life will change. Wisdom from beard guy. I'm lucky you don't have beard, so let us close your eyes and start. Eyes are closed, body is steady.